I came to court, just like I've always done, attend the court hearings and all the stuff, and I sat there listening. I kept making the contributions. It's just between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the prosecution team and the defense team, and the judge. So as of today, the lawyers have virtually stood down. Whether they have given Mazi Nnamdi Kanu his case files, I do not know. But when you go to Section 36(6)(b) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which are actually a crucial provision towards fair hearing, specifically to persons who are charged with criminal or capital offenses, is the constitutional right of Mr. Kanu to decide to take over the defense of his own case. It is also his constitutional right that adequate time and facilities be provided for him to ensure that to ensure that he has adequate defense.
Yeah, but I don't think the issue is whether or not I mean, I think everybody knows he's got constitutional that right, which is why the judge allowed it. But the question is, what's the thinking behind it? I mean, you know things aren't going well when you fire the people who are supposed to protect and represent you in a trial, don't you? I mean, did it appear to you to be an act of sort of visceral rage, impulsive, chaotic purge that wasn't well thought out? Or do you think he thought it out?
If you look at the statements made by the leadership, Abuja Kanu, he said after the meeting they had yesterday that the information was told them that they were going to be debriefed and that they respect the rights of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
No, I understand that, but I'm
so
trying
if there was anything
to get to the backstory.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if there was anything that happened otherwise at that meeting, I was not in that meeting. I only showed up.
But I mean, you would have heard things. I mean, you talked to him.
No, really.
You guys normally hug each other.
My brother Christian, what do you think that this man is trying to dig out?
He won't become winch now. Make it go so that he will now pass it on to the enemy.
Okay. And this program is long, but there's a one I forgot to play. I want us to listen to the person they brought in channel television on the same issue. It's better we listen to him first before we listen to this guy, because their own is propaganda. So that we can use this one to trash that nonsense that we are saying there.
Yeah.
So let's first hear that version of the one that is coming from channel television, the person they invited. Because their version will always be different. They will bring somebody that will speak on their own.
Joins us now. He is the presenter of Inside Sources and also a former presidential aide. But just before we bring him on to take a look at some of the issues we have outlined earlier, we understand that the defense of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the Federal High Court is currently ongoing. Crew sent us some visuals from earlier on. We understand that Mr. Kanu says he will be representing himself as his own lawyer. Don't forget that Mr. Aloy Ejimakor was arrested alongside Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's brother on Monday during the protest organized by the Take It Back movement. So this morning, Mr. Kanu says he'll be representing himself as his own lawyer, opening his defense in the ongoing terrorism trial against him. The development is after his lead counsel, Kanu Agabi, alongside other senior advocates in his legal team, withdrew their legal representation. Mr. Kanu also refused a lawyer to be provided to him by the court when trial judge Justice James Omotosho offered the same. So that's news we're getting out of the court this morning, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is representing himself. His lawyers have withdrawn, and we also know that one of them was also detained by the police. But these are visuals that were sent in this morning. These visuals are from the court of law. You know that cameras are not allowed in the court of law, so we cannot say these are live because they're not. In any case, a trial is underway. So this was prior to the trial resuming at the court. And we also understand that he wants to call 23 witnesses, amongst them the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, SAN, as well as the current Minister of FCT, Wike, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, and former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. Well, I don't know what you make of this, Mr. Akonde. I mean, 23 witnesses asking for a period of 90 days. Do you think, what do you think we should be expecting from your own estimation?
Well, I think it is clear that Mr. Kanu is not interested in pursuing this case.
Did you hear that?
Oh, clearly, because, you know, the behavior and the conduct of himself and his lawyers, you know, after they have said that we want a prompt trial, you know, and you have a judge who is clearly ready to do the right thing, and then this is what you are working out, you want to represent yourself, you know, that tells me that he's not interested in pursuing the case in court. He's interested in a political solution. And that does have a bit of credit here, you know, because of course we see some other things that are happening in this country. There are people who have behaved like Kanu, and their cases were settled in the political way. So I guess that is what he's more interested in. And my own argument...
That's speculation.
Yes, yeah, actually that's what I believe. Because if you look at the whole, you know, the trajectory of the case, part of the reason why it has taken this long is also because of some of these shenanigans on both sides, on the side of the government prosecuting him and on his own side, you know, changing lawyers back and forth, you know. So I think that we need to explore the political solution, not because I don't believe that Kanu should get his day in court, but clearly this matter is being drawn out.
These are evil people, bro.
And I think for the sake of our national cohesion, you know, we
it's a national cohesion.
You know, when it comes to them, they will always try to push the blame. They will drag it and drag it and drag it. No matter how difficult it is, they will shift the blame to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Quite frankly, frankly, this is one of the reasons why, if I have my way, I will not want to be in the same country under the same judicial system with people like this. People who the justice, fairness is alien and is it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, so he won't equate or both side issue here or shenanigan from both sides. No, it's not true. Because first of all,
look at the narrative he's creating now. It is not true.
Yeah, because
the people that do not want the case to continue is the government itself. This is 10 years for crying loud.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
This is 10 years for crying loud. Only for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu changing his lawyer. You are not making it look as if he's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He doesn't want to attend the trial. He's the one. He's now seeking for political solution.
Yeah. So
something that he has said it by his own word, that I am not seeking for pity. I need justice, and to be seen that justice is done.
So this man is probably a lawyer, probably a son, a Yoruba guy. Does he not know that
they said that former is it SSG? I'll be watching the column.
Okay, so does he not know that the Court of Appeal has discharged Nnamdi Kanu based off of the illegality, the illegality of the process that brought Nnamdi Kanu? That alone squash. He knows that, but they won't say it. You wait and kidnap somebody against the law, that is a crime on its own. So, and therefore, the Court of Appeal, they looked out into the whole scenario, how he left the country. He did not jump bail as they profess. They came to, buy him, and he manages to escape. And lots of people were buying the process, and they went further to commit a crime in bringing him back into the country. They are not saying, if he's a lawyer or whatever, why is he not, if he's a human being and a man of fairness and justice, why is he saying both sides? Well, how can he not know that the process that led to where we are is unjust and therefore should be discontinued? No. But, Odiego, my brother.
Has nothing to do with both sides. It is so sad.
Hello.
It is so sad.
Hello, Mr. Chooks.
Okay, who are we speaking with? Is that
It's Obi-Wan.
Okay, Obi-Wan. Go ahead, if you want to speak to us. Let's hear you. You're welcome.
Okay. Good morning, and my fellow brother in the studio, and every other person listening.
You're welcome.
It seems to marvel to actually, or should I say, surprisingly, to see an ordinary citizen educating senior advocate of Nigeria in some certain things that is supposed to be their field.
Yeah.
And it's quite alarming. It actually started during the elections, because mostly some people that weren't interested in elections and politics and judiciary system were all observing what was going on. And the people that called themselves judges stood up and turned their own law upside down and in a broad daylight. And now you can actually see what is going on. It seems like when the citizen will have their own opinion on what the Constitution says, then the people that were expected to interpret it is doing otherwise. And I don't know why some people see this as something that is normal. It is not normal at all, because the only thing that keeps a country working is their constitution,
Yeah.
their judiciary system.
Yeah.
And once that fails, there is nothing else. It's just
everything fails.
An island with no rule. So all these things is happening, and you can actually see the institutions in Nigeria collapsing one by one. No accountability. I saw a news of where they said FIFA has been giving NFA some amount of money to prepare for whatever. And the money is actually huge, and somebody is eating the money. And now, as you can see now, the next step now is trying to criminalize protest.
Yeah.
Which is a fundamental right of every citizen. Court has no even right to tell protesters when or not to protest.
At all, they don't have that right.
Civil duty. A judge that gives an order to say protesters should protest here or not here is somehow ridiculous to listen to. It seems like the person didn't even go to law school, and not to talk of being a judge. So I have to start questioning the certificate of these guys that made them who they are. Because it's professional for an ordinary man that did not attend law school to actually start understanding the Constitution of Nigeria. Meanwhile, the interpreters, the people that the Constitution is in their profession, are doing otherwise. Which other place are they getting all these things from? How do they expect people to move? So it is quite alarming, but I'm not surprised. Why I say I'm not surprised, especially when you bring Nnamdi Kanu and compare it to who is their
Your network is off. We can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Obi-Wan, we can't hear you. Okay.
In Zoom one.
No, I know my phone. Can you hear me now?
Okay, my coordinator. So, now on Zoom. All right, we'll do it.
But in now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, being in the zoo is very dangerous. I can't cope with it. So, anyway, but the point I'm trying to make here is that now, for the fact that there's nobody that is giving account of what is going on in Nigeria. It's scattered. The whole institution is going down. A policeman leaves his house with a household problem. O nwere ike nwunye dọchara ya aka n'akwa na ego nri adịrọ. Ụmụazị school fees akwụbe. Ije na police quarters, you see how they live there like barbaric people.
Yeah.
And the same person, all these things affect their brain, their behavior, the way they approach people. And this is the same person will leave in the morning and go to the police station and sign an ammunition.
Yeah.
The reason why when you are an MMA fighter or boxing or whatever, you are not allowed to fight the citizen is because you are a trained killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you do such, they take your certificate. Soldiers are not allowed to actually maltreat citizens because these guys are trained to kill. So you are only
Absolutely.
they need you when they need that services. But in a situation whereby somebody will leave the house and go to the police station and they assign the person a gun, and the police comes out in the street, and you as a citizen that is working in the bank or probably have a very good business, you smell nice in the morning, your kids are happy, the family is well, you're doing well for yourself. And you now come and meet this guy and you start talking about your rights. Do you expect him to listen to you? He doesn't give a damn about what right do you have. The children's school fees are at stake. They may be coming home is only Gary they go drink for evening time. And then we forgot that all these things affecting their mind. Even when a police officer chooses to shoot somebody, after the whole shooting, the police department actually makes sure that they have to talk to this guy to see if the shooting affects his behavior before he's safe to be released outside to the public.
Yes.
Institutions that handles those things doesn't operate, it doesn't function in Nigeria.
Never.
That is the reason why you see a soldier and police or mobile police, they are fighting in the public, two armed forces.
Always.
You see them dragging, or you see a road safety officer jumping on top of somebody's car. Do you know that people are scared of traffic officers more than the police? Especially when you're driving. Not because they will beat you. It's because they will suck your money out. Anytime because those people are like flies. You see the way they follow you whenever you break the law with your car. They follow you like flies in your ass.
Yeah.
Until they give you a ticket. Go and see road safety. Road safety will jump on top of your car. Even they are snatching the key, like as if they are criminals.
Ah, God.
Everything is upside down. Everything.
False. Fighting.
Everything. I'm telling you. And the worst of it all is that they have no shame at all. That they don't care. They are still living in those days where there's no camera. They think there's no camera. They used to commit something in Kaduna or Para or Lagos, and Ndi Anambra will know what is going on. They think that we are still on that. That's why you see them when obedient are campaigning for P2B. They say they are only doing that on the internet. Why I'm saying this, and I don't care who wants to be president, whether it's an Igbo person or whatever that tickles your fancy, go on for it. So, but my point that I'm trying to is, they don't actually understand the power of the media.
They don't.
Because they choose to hold the media in Nigeria, Nigerian Broadcasting Service or Authority, for them to give any kind of news that they want, and which everybody is only getting the news from there or from the radio. Now they are still controlling those things. Now that's why you'll be listening to Nigerian media and you expect them to ask the right questions, to give account, to actually let make the person to actually speak the truth. And you can see a journalist asking a stupid question
Stupid
something
question.
like you expect an anchor of a program to face the person face to face and get out something from this person, and you can see the person as if government is our government, we have to defend it. Then why did I come to your studio in the first place?
Mad people.
Whenever you come and you call a criminal or a spade to the station, they tell you, no, don't use such word on people. But they are so free to call Simon by a criminal. When you come to their studio, the one that favors
call IPOB proscribed, even when they know that
they are so cool with that. It's not a problem. But when you call out Senator Akpabio as a female molester, they tell you, no, don't use such language. It pisses me off sometimes. And
but he's a molester, eh?
Yeah,
but they will not. But they will cover it up. They want to cover it up.
They wouldn't want you to say it out. They say, no, you must mind the kind of word that you use. Tinubu is answering of a drug related case in America, which is trying to tell the FBI not to this. But when you dare not call
they
Tinubu
shut you down. Exactly. Yeah.
But it's all there in the public.
Yeah.
What are they hiding? And the thing, why I'm giving you all these instances is for you. When I said all the institutions in Nigeria is going down.
It's a failed state already, a failed state.
It's going all the institution. Nigerian Medical Association. Go and check what is wrong with Nnamdi Kanu and bring us a date of.
They just went and write something without checking up.
Yeah, the date we are different. The date of
when it comes to Nigeria, where you want to start from?
And you see the funniest thing, and the president is to the court, and the judge accepted it.
Yeah.
Called up, he said he has already taken it already, that he can't go back.
Yeah.
It is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous when you hear such thing coming from a so-called giant of Africa.
Yeah.
Giant of Africa, the most populated country in Africa, with the smartest people in the whole world. And you hear such thing coming out from that country. You see how useless a giant can be. Very, very useless giant.
So shameful.
And bro, you will notice that these are some of the things that is driving a guy like Shora. These are some of the things that is dragging him crazy, because he's not an Igbo, he's a non-Igbo, but to be putting everything on the line because he's just so fed up with what kind of system is this on this planet Earth. I can't think of any nation that functions the way Nigeria functions. It just seems like for them, it doesn't matter if they have to kill half of the population in the country, so long as Nigeria continues to exist, it doesn't matter. That is what I see. That is my take on what is happening with the judiciary, with the legislators and the executive and the media too, because the media are they are part of it hugely. They don't care. They cover it up.
My brother, let me tell you, every concerned citizen should be worried. Not just worried.
Very, very worried.
Because ENMI in Nigeria is that now we choose not to speak when it does not concern us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We choose not to 100%. Speak out when it doesn't affect us. Yes. But one thing we don't understand is that there is a war that is going on in Nigeria that the citizens are not aware of.
Yeah.
And the war keep creeping into the society. Neka UK now Bahari about Islamic behavior in the UK now. Some people wanted to protest as Christians and stuff, and they're telling them you shouldn't do that because it will offend some Islam people.
Imagine in a Christian country.
Yeah.
Christian country. And how did Lebanon went down? It's just like that. At some point, these people will now multiply triple times in UK. Now,
but then it'll be too late.
You now have majority of Muslims, and then they will now introduce the Sharia law. This is how they creep in. The citizens of Nigeria don't understand what is coming.
Yeah.
And when I look at these press people, and in our Ojo Bay, I calm down somehow, because whenever you talk about a colleague that died, you find that na metuge rutego side there.
Yes.
On your forward or tabati.
For some time now. Head face. I
think
my brother, reserve your comment. Let's play this. Let's listen to this. When we finish, we can come back again.
All right, sure.
Yeah, we'll come back again. Let's just finish it.
Another look at solving this matter politically. So if you have lawyers like Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria, respectable lawyer, choosing to also walk out, then it is giving the whole case a very bad impression.
Okay.
So I don't know how government will deal with this.
You see, this impression he's creating that Agabi walkout is false.
Well, of course it's false.
The video we're going to play now, you will see where that lawmaker explained it.
And he knows, bro, he knows that it's false, but he's saying it anyway.
Yeah, just to create a bad impression.
Because Aisha Yusuf said something on her program that the lawyers walk out on Nnamdi Kanu. I saw it yesterday. So, but these are not.
They are creating outside. You see?
Yeah. So this is how they roll. All right, go on.
In a political solution, they don't want to go forward with this case in court. That's my view.
Well, we'll see how that matter, proceeds in court. I mean, there have been quite a number of developments in recent times. You saw the
Mr. Chus,
Mr.
Chus, please. That's something I want. They keep talking about political solution. Why don't ever somebody come up and ask Gowon, where is Aburi Accord conversation?
Yeah, but
that one was also a political solution.
Because when you talk of political solution, they are always in their mind is all about Nnamdi Kanu dropping agitation. That is their own political. Yeah. That is their own political, whatever they are calling it. They forgot there was an agreement. What are we fighting for now? Is it not the same thing that they went to Ghana to fight for? It was an agreement they already had.
The political solution should go back all the way to Aburi.
Yeah. That was where Hawona had to keep Nigeria one. Either you thought about Birugodi from regional development, Kasizia Nandi Biafra Chosepo. Then a quick was that one. But Mekenen came up because what we want, the only thing I believe that we want is to develop our region. Agitate is because there's no federal government present in our area. Are you doing that? No. Yeah. The meeting he had with governors of the Eastern Cape, what was his request? Is it not the same thing that Ojukwu went to Ghana to ask for? Why is it they don't want Eastern Nigeria to be developed? What are they scared of?
Yeah. But when just quickly, sorry, Brachus, the thing is that ship, that clearly was what we wanted. That was what Ojukwu brought to the table in Abure. That is what Nnamdi Kanu brought to the table, and they flip it. Now, even now, quite frankly, it's still what we want to an extent. Listen to me now. Yeah. Because I personally had been advocating of the fact that we need a functioning seaport and international airport, which is duly our right to have in a region as a region. Yes. But why do I say that the ship has sailed? Is because what is happening now has gone beyond that. There's this group of people, about 5 to 7%, who have now decided that they want the entirety of the territory called Nigeria as theirs. They want to Islamize it and Fulanize it. People don't seem to understand the level and to what extent how prepared they are on this. So if anybody talking about autonomy or regionalism or true federalism now, you are wasting your goddamn time, because it's not going to happen. The Fulanis will never accept that. They've invested so much. I've said this severally. Watch and see. Just watch us.
We are not the one asking for those things now. What I understand is that since they are talking about this, what they call it, political solution, let's assume they are serious. At least they will start from there. We will see that they are doing something.
Yeah. At least they are doing something. Yeah. But now we have crossed the Rubicon now, because the tribal enmity has increased more than how it was then. By then, Yoruba can afford Igbo as a brother. Hausa can afford Yoruba as a brother. Nigerians as of then can well one goal as people. You understand? But now the enmity, I think, go in there that now, even with the regional whatever that you want, it's much more better for the division of the country because of the killings from a particular side and the jihadist what should I call it? Action towards the citizens of Nigeria, because everybody amago what they are up to now. So it can work. It will never work.
And even the development of this same southeast region, this Yoruba government under Tinubu is not interested in it. What they want now is to keep the status quo, a situation whereby they will be, on our back, to an extent. They will be developing, building Lagos and everything, because Tinubu does not want to see a seaport in our place. He doesn't. He stopped it. Okay? And they have the governors from our place whom, for some reason, either based off of the agreement they reached before, they allowed them to become a governor, because they can decide whether you be or not to be. That's a fact. The central government can decide who becomes a governor or who doesn't become. They have so many ways they can make it happen. They can stop you through the Supreme Court, or they can stop you through rigging, or they can even just cancel you, even take you out when you're already a governor. They have so many ways. So that is why the whole problem becomes very complex now, that true federalism, autonomy is no longer obtainable, because if you say... Exactly. Yeah.
Monday and the measures by the government of the day to make sure that it didn't happen close to certain areas of the Federal Capital Territory. The police said they had an injunction, preventing protesters from getting to a particular area. People were very cautious. A lot of small businesses did not open on Monday. Civil servants could barely get to work because roads leading to the headquarters of Federal Civil were cordoned off. So, and some people say, look, this is also on the back of developments we've heard in recent times. It's been spoken in whispers about a coup that never took place. But we know that on October 1, for instance, the ceremonies that were supposed to have attended our Independence Day celebrations didn't happen. A very strong reason wasn't given for it. But then we heard much later that, some people were arrested, some soldiers were arrested in connection with something else. That's what the military authorities tell us. But the media, some sections of the media have reported quite authoritatively that they heard that these people were arrested in connection with the coup. What are we to make of some of this? Are there any connections here and there that you can draw?
Well, okay, let me quickly first make a point about the protest. I think the response of the federal government security agencies on Monday was an overkill. If you look at what happened and how they disrupted activities in the FCT, it was more a case of the government security agencies preventing people from going about their regular businesses, because look,
that's for those who came out, because as I did say, some people were also cautious. They didn't come out.
That's the point, because people were prevented. I mean, I was trying to get into Transcorp around 3 o'clock when this demonstration had dissipated completely, and there were still roadblocks all over the place. So I think that it was an overkill. And
you see how devilish these people are.
Very devilish.
Who escalated the protest?
That is it.
Who caused the traffic in Abuja for people not to go to work?
Well, he blamed the government, though. He blamed the government.
Yeah, I know. But can you for how extend these people? Because I think these guys are very, very scared. Very, very scared. Because the places where people gathered in Abuja were like 6 places for them to emerge together. They don't want that to happen. They don't want people, because from one junction to the other junction, people will now, they don't want people that are thinking, should I follow for the protest or should I not follow for the protest? To now see that, it's safe. Because when people see that police are guiding the protesters, more people will join. They started the chaos. They started to make people retract.
That's their tactics. That's their tactics.
These guys are so devilish to the extent that you can see they don't want anything to change. Just like an example of what I just said now. Somebody that called himself this number 6th person in Nigeria government is going to Abia State, closed his eyes to see what OT is doing in Abia State, and yet choose to change the government to APC government. They are and they buy now or did this thing. Like, I don't just understand. Why can't you, even though the development is not coming from APC, but not your state, and you can see that now, why don't you support the Abia State and on the then when roads Agabe for 20 years in Abia State is happening? Yet the only thing that you are concerned about is to make Abia State an APC state. Ebe people for that na men na chuku net. These guys are so wicked. Very, very, very wicked, to the extent that na as in number so if revolution can ever happen in Nigeria, enwere ndị ameni enwere ndị aga hang udere ri ozu ha, enwere ndị aga awo akụgbu otu ewere ha hang ya n'ukwu osisi na aja ọhịa.
Yes.
I'm telling you, these guys are very wicked people. Yes,
but my honest opinion, revolution game in Nigeria, I don't think so.
Let's go on.
We'll get to that. Some protocol. I think the police authorities, our security agencies, and civil society, NGOs need to sit down and agree on a protocol for protest. It is done everywhere. We shouldn't be doing all this hide and seek. We should understand that people have a right to protest, without disturbing, the regular business of the day for people who don't want to protest. We need to have that conversation and have those protocols. Now, on the issue of the allegations around the coup, we have, like you said, we have serious news medium, reporting that something.
I don't think we need this their coup propaganda. I don't think we need it. Now, let us go back to the main one that we are supposed to. I just wanted to play their own, the government narrative. Because anybody you see in channels, they are always giving the scripts on what to say. And when you see the way the channel presenters ask their question, you will know that these people are really paid for what they are doing. So let's go back to...
Because there is another drama that's unfolding.
Sometimes I don't actually blame most of these guys in the media of Nigeria of what they do, because they are not independent like you. They are under where they will say what they are not supposed to say.
Well, you're right. You're right. I agree with you.
And shit will go down. Just like before, they don't talk about Nnamdi Kanu on Nnamdi Kanu's case on TV until the day of the court. Why are they doing that? They don't want to sing the name into the citizens' ear.
Yes.
Because egwu kita enweghị isi ọbụgụdị akpị na-eti egwu na-akụgheri n'egwu ya ewere egwu anwa na amami madigai a na-akụrụ gị egwu anwa ewere egwu akpị na-akụrụ gị every morning
you will like it.
You were na-eme your ringing tone. One day in a secretary in a you go to sing that it's okay na akụgheri. So if they keep repeating about him, people will now queue in. Now see what is going on now. When news by Nigeria, before the news case in Nnamdi Kanu. And this is their greatest fear. Because this is the war now that is about to happen now. It's not Igbo war now. The people that claims to be citizens of Nigeria are now queuing in, because they have started understanding what exactly that
Mazi
is going
Nnamdi Kanu
on.
stands for.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother. Let's go on. Let us
I mean, there's drama with Nnamdi Kanu, there's drama with the Labour Party, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But you were in court today when Mr. Kanu, for want of a better term, purged his legal team. How did it come to that?
Well, he had discussions with the legal team yesterday, and all of us were shocked when we came to court and the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation previous, Kanu Agabi, announced to the court that himself and the legal team, especially those of the Inner Temple, are withdrawing. And the judge also was shocked and asked Mazi Nnamdi Kanu about it, and he concurred that for now, that he would take charge of his defense. Doesn't mean that if tomorrow an opportunity arises, that lawyers will not also be part of it. So, but for today, probably tomorrow, he would take charge of his defense. So that's what happened in court. And
were you surprised?
I was pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly or shocked?
Well, surprised and shocked at the same time. In terms that none of us knew about it. I came to court, just like I've always done, attend the court hearings and all the stuff, and I sat there listening. I kept making the contributions. It's just between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the prosecution team and the defense team, and the judge. So as of today, the lawyers have virtually stood down. Whether they have given Mazi Nnamdi Kanu his case files, I do not know. But when you go to section 36(6)(b) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which are actually a crucial provision towards fair hearing, specifically to persons who are charged with criminal or capital offenses, is the constitutional right of Mr. Kanu to decide to take over the defense of his own case. It is also his constitutional right that adequate time and facilities be provided for him to ensure that to ensure that he has adequate defense.
Yeah, but I don't think the issue is whether or not I mean, I think everybody knows he's got constitutional that right, which is why the judge allowed it. But the question is, what's the thinking behind it? I mean, you know things aren't going well when you fire the people who are supposed to protect and represent you in a trial, don't you? I mean, did it appear to you to be an act of sort of visceral rage, impulsive, chaotic purge that wasn't well thought out? Or do you think he thought it out?
If you look at the statements made by the leadership, Agabi Kanu, he said after the meeting they had yesterday that the information was told them that they were going to be debriefed and that they respect the rights of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
No, I understand that, but I'm
so
trying
if there was anything
to
that
get
happened,
to the backstory.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if there was anything that happened otherwise at that meeting, I was not in that meeting. I only showed up.
But I mean, you would have heard things. I mean, you talked to him.
No, really.
You guys normally hug each other at the end of the trial.
We sat
at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, we sat close. But
did he whisper anything into you?
No, but at the end of the day, he was actually, he was actually led through the judge's chambers to be evacuated back from the Federal High Court to the detention center. So we didn't have enough time to discuss in court, to say, because he's often brought to court 10 minutes to 9, and the judge comes out exactly about 9 dots. So there wasn't that much of a time beyond the camaraderie and the visiting.
I mean, we obviously saw the statement. I was actually hoping that we would hear that clip from the lawyers, because they made a public statement, which has been run on a rise several times today. But I mean, is there anything beyond that public statement that that might have said perhaps in out of camera to you?
No, nothing yet. I've yet to be informed otherwise. But I know that tomorrow he may be meeting with some of the current legal team that were debriefed.
Right.
Maybe possible some additional members of the legal team to go forward, at least to have some people who will surround him and be giving him legal advice where necessary, and the authorities that he will need to proceed with the defense of his case.
Right.
But what we are saying, crucially, Charles, is that Section 36(6)(b) is essential that it appears that the government is rushing his defense by giving him 5 days. He's already made known to the court, and the court has given summons to 23 witnesses. He would need to spend time to discuss with those witnesses, and where those witnesses are not compliant, to ensure that the court compels them through subpoena to come and testify in court as to their knowledge of events from the time he was arrested to the time he was extraordinarily renditioned, and from the time the trials also began 5-6 years ago. So if you're going to rush, the prosecution has had more than 10 years to prepare for this matter. They have arraigned him on several charges, withdrew several charges, and rearraigned him. They've had adequate time to present their case, and they have rested their case. The defense also requires adequate time to be able to present their case. You cannot say in a capital offense, a criminal trial that has so many significance, not just for jurisprudence, but the social and security dynamics in Nigeria, that Nnamdi Kanu is expected that is within 5 days to be able to put a defense. If you're going to railroad him, just like the court in their determination, court says he does not verily believe that access to lawyers at the DSS facilities may be videoed, may be eavesdropped. So he agreed for 3 hours. That was yesterday's meeting, for himself and his lawyers to meet at the judges at the court 7 specifically. But if you go to court 7, there are video cameras, opportunities to also eavesdrop. I'm not saying that his lordship was in his chamber, but what if he was in chamber? Who else was in chamber with him to eavesdrop on the discussions between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyers?
Well, they would argue that it's getting all rather paranoid now.
No, it's not. No, if you agreed.
So, what do we have to say on this?
Nigeria is paranoid.
Mazi, please let me just ask this question, please, before you go on. First of all, let me just ask. Those 23 people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu mentioned, if those people do not appear in the court, I think that the same court have the right to go and summon those people by fire by force to that court.
In a normal country, in a sane society, yes.
This lawmaker just answered the question.
Yeah.
It is mandatory. The court will force them to come.
But in Nigeria, can you guarantee that?
Never. Of course, you can't.
Exactly. Because that's what the lawmaker just said. They will be subpoenaed. When you subpoena them, then they have no choice. They will come. If they don't come, they will be arrested. That is how it's supposed to be. But we are talking about the zoo here, you know.
The zoo. That is the problem. And when you see the way they are ambushing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you can imagine. Okay, they're giving him only 6 days. Already he has spent 1 day, only 5 days left.
Because Omoto Shaw is working for Tinubu. That's why I say it's Yoruba government, because he's not showing understanding, but rather he's showing to be on the side of the prosecution. So obviously it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And this House of Rep members still confirm this thing you are saying in this very interview. You will hear him when he will confirm it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That because of electronic cameras and audio equipment and all the stuff in DSS would not be adequate for him to have concrete discussions with his lawyers in the defense of his case, and you're moving him from DSS to his court. But the court itself is also...
Yeah, but I mean, obviously the judge has more confidence in the court than the DSS facility.
Well, it's not...
So that's...
No, he moved the matter from the DSS facility to the court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hoping that the court will be an adequate place.
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm
the
saying.
same court...
He obviously has more confidence
absolutely,
in the
but then the same court has the same issues as it would be at the DSS. The court is also wired electronically.
Yeah, but maybe the judge, because he's a judge in that court. I mean, I'm just speculating. Has more control and more access to that kind of material.
So what if the judge was eavesdropping on his conversations with his lawyers? Would that not also affect?
Go ahead.
You know what I believe? Nnamdi Kanu is really playing with these people's mind. Like, they will understand the game he's playing here, because check out the timing. Nnamdi Kanu just want to introduce the so-called citizens of Nigeria into his case.
Yes.
Then, so if you're not saying that, if court subpoena some people and they choose not to come, either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
If you come, you implicate yourself. If you don't come, why are you running? So Kifo, what he is playing with them, because if you want to wrestle with the pig, what do? You get into the ring. Be dirty as well. So what is happening here? Some people are pressing button behind the scene. So Ludo will come out and tell you, I get meet here the federal government. Call apply in
Africa Soludo.
And the boy I get federal government. Call apply in Kano. Before the protest, I'll pay for the interview. Only wanna Japan say kwa picture with Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, a picture also. Hanchanine, Ojuzo Carlo implicated himself too. Talk about it. Is he not in a court? Didn't you know that in a court I quit to go discharge Nnamdi Kanu? All these guys are just so stupid. So this time around, he's bringing those pressing the button. Yeah. Batajan at the ring. Let us talk about that, which you don't want us to speak about. Piazian couldn't involve. So it's either they choose. Now watch what might happen. Either they choose to gamble their way in it by the judge not allowing Nnamdi Kanu much time to prepare. Because when Nnamdi Kanu demand the 3 months to prepare his case, Nnamdi Kanu na just comfortable there.
Yes.
No. Yeah, brother, you hit it there. It seems to me like the light of Chukwuka Abiyama has taken over Nnamdi Kanu. I can see
comfortable.
And not just comfortable. Yes, also comfortable, but confident. So when God is on your side,
be confident before you be confident. Use the word comfortable. Only can you every day and not releasing none or feeling or the uncomfortable. So what was the airport room to the kundo we are here? But get involved in this.
Yeah, Oji na Ebojo now. Nnamdi Kanu the zoo, Oji bad, and they know. So they will try to maneuver their way out of it. But he is sitting on top of them now. They don't even know that truly they are dealing with a guy like never seen before. So
can they everybody, a Yoruba, Hausa, after the protest, I don't go involved in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever that comes out now will be judged according to what their behavior or what comes out from their side. Or was this on Nnamdi Kanu or was this on the Igbo? Everybody is involved. International body. This is the time Muslims are killing Christians in Nigeria. America's eye is in Nigeria. The
All
world's
eyes
eye
on Nigeria.
is in Nigeria. So now let's talk about it. It's a very, very nice move, but let's just watch and see how it plays out. Yeah.
Wow. You are right. So as we speak now, the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ongoing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have arrived in court, but information coming is that they bar people from entering the court, including the families of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They stop them from entering the court. They barred everybody now. They have now gone back to their secret trial. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the court.
They didn't want anything that they discussed. Anything that they discussed inside that court, they didn't want it to go out. That is why they banned everybody from entering inside that court.
They have started their secret.
Imokwande mentioned to come and testify. Imokwande serving minister, chief of staff, former chief of staff. People they involved needed to come and the Buratai Wuku ambassador now to Nigeria, to one country like that. People that are involved are people that will definitely wouldn't want to appear because of what they have committed. Because Nigeria will only be able to or not. Buhari
ICC. ICC now.
Oh, manage the ambassador to another country.
That is Nigeria for you with their manipulation.
They reward you with reward wickedness with sweet.
We'll go on.
Would not also affect the way and manner, the perception that he sees with the
well, I mean, that's purely
and
speculative.
Would also lead to bias.
Yeah, that's speculative. But let's move away from that. Usually the decision by someone to fire his lawyers and represent himself tends to be a tactical move. It's sometimes used by defendants hoping to challenge the system. I mentioned that at the outset, and potentially gain an acquittal. They believe that by representing themselves, they can control the narrative and create reasonable doubt. But that strategy has also been known to backfire. I give you one example, and it's probably an extreme example, and I don't mean to kind of link it to Nnamdi Kanu, but if you remember the mass murderer in America called Ted Bundy, who was eventually executed. I mean, he got in, his lawyers were trying to arrange a plea bargain for him to get 75 years in jail, in other words, life imprisonment, and he got angry and fired all of them and said he was going to represent himself. And he ended up being found guilty, condemned to death, and executed because he did it himself. Whereas the lawyers had already made a plea bargain arrangement which would have kept him alive.
Well, let me tell you something, though. I don't know Ted Bundy, but I
don't know him either.
But I know Nnamdi Kanu. If you were in court today listening to Nnamdi Kanu, you will come up with the the absolute impression that this is a very cerebral man. He understands the law. He also understands the challenges that are facing him.
So you think he got a better shot representing himself than the people who have represented him for quite some time? Senior advocates of Nigeria.
He made a decision.
Yeah.
He made a decision with the lawyers yesterday, which included the senior advocates of Nigeria. I'm sure they gave him proper legal advice, and I'm sure that he listened to all their suggestions to him, their briefings to him, and he chose otherwise. Like Kanu Agabi said today, that after the meeting, they came to court today to honor the court, and as well to honor Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's request that they be debriefed, and that they respect his opinions.
Right.
And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court says that for now, he used the word for now, I am standing alone to defend myself. Doesn't mean that tomorrow that you will not see new sets of lawyers, which may include the current lawyers that have been debriefed. Right. But the most important thing for Nnamdi Kanu and everybody who is supportive of him is to ensure that everything that is going to be done goes towards fair hearing, and that every opportunity is given to him as stated in the Constitution.
Right. The point is that he's not asking the court to give him time to choose a new set of lawyers.
No, he has asked,
he's saying that he's going to represent himself.
No, he doesn't need to ask the court.
Right.
Even if he brings a new lawyer into the matter that's completely different from the existing lawyers, the lawyers will come under Section 36(6)(b).
They still need time.
They'll still need time.
Yeah, to familiarize with
themselves with the case. and you know the evidences that have been put forth by the prosecutor, even if Nnamdi Kanu is taken over his matter, he still needs time to go through his trial files, know the evidences that have been put forth, also be aware of the 23 witnesses that he's already given to the court, and the court has issued summons for all the 23 witnesses, and are compelling them to come and testify. So there's got to be adequate time. You don't expect that within the 6 days already given, 1 day is gone, that he has 5 days to prepare his defense. That's why I was saying that if anything goes contrary to Section 36(6)(b), you know, then he definitely is going to lead and make the trial to be a nullity. So he has to be given adequate time to look at his case file. To first of all, find out whether Agabi and the other team have given him his case file. He can't study everything tonight, so he needs adequate time. And then the facilities to be able to ensure that you know, he prepares himself very well.
We'll watch and see how that develops. Meanwhile, of course, one of his lawyers, Aloy Ejimako, who stuck out his neck by becoming a bit more activist and taking part in the Free Nnamdi Kanu protests on Monday, is under arrest and is being charged with various offenses. What's the story there? I understand you've been to see him in detention.
I went there today. I went there 2 days ago and today to visit with him and the other co-accused, Kuje Prison, to visit with them, and hopefully tomorrow the matter was adjourned by the magistrate court till Friday, which is tomorrow, of which we hope the offenses being charged are bailable offenses, and that the judge will adequately grant bail to allow them, especially Ejimako, who is the engine house or the secretariat of the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu legal team, to arrest him the way they did and to detain him the way he's also, you know, you can say a conspiracy theorist.
Well, I mean, that's
saying that, you know, it was done deliberately.
But
to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is devoid of Ejimako's services.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, because Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor on information and strategy to the president, has called for disciplinary action against Mr. Ejimako for what he called professional misconduct.
What professional misconduct?
Well,
Ejimako is a lawyer by profession. He's a Nigerian citizen by profession, entitled to the provisions and to the protection of Section 40 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that says that he has a right to peaceful assembly and association. So why is it different? Because he's Ejimako, and then he is no longer entitled to that because he's a lawyer. What about the doctors that came for the protest? What about students that came and many other people that came?
Well, yes,
are they not entitled to the same protection there? So it goes to that pattern, Charles, that I keep saying every single time.
Christian is coming to that your point.
Especially in the administration of criminal justice, there appear to be two sets of rules in this country, one for the Igbo man and another for every other
but of course,
the
man who organized the protests, Omoyele Sowore, has himself been nicked by the police.
Well, I heard that today.
Yeah, we saw the video.
I heard that today.
We saw it. We saw the arrest, and it's
yes, I heard that
he's
today.
Been arrested.
He's been arrested. But what took them that long? If they were going to arrest everybody, why didn't they arrest everybody all at the same time? Because of the outcry.
Yeah.
And what may have appeared to be an injustice, particularly on one particular race or one particular tribe, the Igbo tribe, and then maybe. Just like they said, if you look at what the CPO of FCT said, that is almost like an injustice. They have arrested so many others, and then the person who organized the protest was never arrested.
Right.
But even so, has not committed any crime by, protesting under Section 40 of the Constitution.